Hi. What's our story, America? The truth is, there is a divide that defines us in 2026. What if more of us took ownership of eradicating this divide? Lots of good strategies in this book. The Guarantee, Inside the Fight for America's Next Economy, Natalie Foster, I'm currently digging into, focuses one aspect strategy on advancing good work for more Americans. Quote, one aspect of good work involves having a voice and the leverage to advocate for certain standards for wages and, good working conditions, for example. One of the things that distinguishes Natalie Foster's writing in defining the guarantee framework is what it gives voice to. The fact that there are many Americans who continue to work every day to see the outcomes of our socioeconomic system and our public policies focused on advancing what it must, equal access to the basics of what all Americans need and deserve. As I continue to study this book as a resource to do what I always feel I need to do. I call it the 3 R's: to revisit, to rethink, to reinvent my participation in a socioeconomic system, to do a better job of advancing greater access, right? I still find myself challenged to hang on, to persevere in this work. I know some of the factors as to why. There is a toxic power to the pervasive mainstream narrative in America today that's rooted in demonizing people's quest to access their basic human needs: housing, healthcare, education, dignified work, family care, generational wealth, and a living wage. There's even a historic precedent for this. Ever heard of strikebreakers, where the federal government even used violence to disrupt the efforts of American workers to gain fair wages and safe working conditions? As the Guarantee talks about, at the height of the union movement of workers in this country in the mid-50s, there were over a third of the workers, over 33%, were in unions. Today, it's just about 10% and even less, 6% for private sector employees. Another factor that kind of challenges me is my own distance from Americans who work hard every day in the public sector. The truth is, if I look at my 50 plus years in the workforce, basically 90% I spent in the private sector. So similarly to how I have an experience, a challenge to access based on race and gender, being a white guy, the private sector piece has also left me not aware of the experiences of those that are challenged, because I don't have the lived experience, right? The truth is that advancing the health and well-being of American workers in the public sector, be it teachers, police officers, firefighters, the military, healthcare workers, caregivers, domestic workers, hospitality people, retail, maintenance people, sanitation workers, just the list goes on. This creating and realizing greater access, this must be a core outcome of our socioeconomic system and our public policies. Not just to see the tech sector thrive, the stock market thrive, massive corporate profits realized, as is too much of the focus of America's socioeconomic system today. Sound like a big challenge? Well, yep, it is. But let's each of us break it down each day and work to find specific ways in our sphere of influence to advance greater equal access to what American workers need. As Angela Garbs in the foreword to the book speaks to, quote, he's a national best-selling author, the Guarantee is an invitation to join a movement well underway, but one that also needs more of us. That's not just policymakers and thought leaders and people from think tanks, but parents, artists, neighbors, everyday people with firsthand knowledge of the issues that affect their families and communities. Great resource for the work we need to do as engaged citizens. So's my book. Excuse me while I skip a beat, working to reinvent my life and leadership as a white guy. Love to hear your thoughts. Add comments, please. Let's together make waves. Thank you.